Welcome everybody. Welcome to Forward Talk. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hit that like, subscribe button. Like, subscribe, and share. Today I want to talk to y'all about some assumptions that we make that hurt our kids. I want you guys to tell me if you agree or if you disagree on these things that hurt our kids, assumptions that hurt our kids. So that's what I want to talk about today. And let me know if you agree or if you disagree with what I'm telling you. When your kids are really young, obedience is of course the goal you want to hear, to listen when you say no. Your child doesn't run into traffic or swallow a toy or touch the stove when you say no. They pretty much do what you ask them to do. But as they age, it's tempting to continue to focus on obedience, and while obedience is very important, it is not an end to itself. So as they get older, they still try you, but you still try to keep that obedience in them. You still try to keep some kind of guidance, but as like I say, as they age, it's tempting to continue to focus on obedience as they age. It is tempting, but you do have to continue to focus on obedience. And while obedience is very important, it is not an end to itself. The point of obedience is for our kids to stay safe and develop into a wise and loving person. Why does this matter? Because sometimes we can get so focused on obedience, we spend more time thinking about how to enforce rules than whatever the rules are actually helpful. Obedience is important, but it's not the end goal. So, in other words, do you spend too much time on trying to make your kids mind or discipline, trying to keep them in this little bubble, making them understand the rules? Or do you just say, go to timeout, next time you're going to get punished? Some do focus more on discipline or obedience. Some don't. To be honest with you, I think those who focus a little bit more on obedience, they kids tend to turn out a little bit better than those who don't have any discipline or structure. Those are the ones who kind of struggle a little bit in life. I mean, some may disagree, some may agree. So let me know what your thoughts, if you agree or if you disagree. The most important thing is that they're happy. That's adults. We always want to make sure our kids are happy, but at the same time, you got to make sure that they follow the rules. You want your kids to be happy. That's because you love them, and happiness is better than unhappiness. Well, that is often true, but not always do work. Are you happy doing that last rep when you were trying to max out? The last rep when lifting, or whatever you're trying to do. Probably not. Do you work a job you find meaningful, or are you constantly happy as you do it? What about parenting? Does every aspect of parenting fill you with happiness? No, not every aspect fill you with happiness as a parent. When we focus primarily on our kids' happiness, we can create self-focused individuals constantly looking for other people to make them happy. In reality, we want our kids to live life of meaning and want them to be willing to do hard things that don't make them happy all the time, because they are working towards an end that is ultimately good for them and others. So in other words, most people, they just content when they want their kids to be happy, but at the same time, they don't care what their kids doing, violating all kind of rules, as long as their kids are happy, violating the rules. So at some point, you got to hold them accountable. It's okay to make them happy, but at the same time, they got to be accountable for their actions. Do they need to fit in? No. This is one of the difficult. On the surface, it seems simple, but it is painful to watch your child feel left out, and kids can be insanely cruel. It is easy to assume getting rid of the pain is more important than the potential downside. Remember, when all of our kids' friends had social media and our young teens begged and pleaded for it, my kids didn't. They didn't beg and plead for, can they be on social media? My kid, he was so happy when he graduated so he can get a tattoo. He never said, "Daddy, can I get a tattoo?" while he was in high school, because he already knew what the answer was. In that case, man, here we go. You making your kid happy, but at the same time, you being your kid's friend. Quit being your kid's friend and hold them accountable. It's okay to tell them no. So they felt left out, and it was our fault. So when they wanted a tattoo or get on social media and you told them no, they feel like it's the parent's fault. Why? Because you holding them accountable. And the other kids' parents didn't hold them accountable. Well, such and such got to do it. Well, that's such and such. Such and such mom and daddy don't care. That's why such and such them act like they do, and that's why such and such them in the shape they in. I would cave, but my wife stood strong. Now, study after study comes out saying how determined social media is for young kids. My assumption that the short-term pain was worked completely wrong. Certainly, kids need to have a sense of belonging, but if they always fit in, we might be letting their friends do our jobs. So in other words, you keep letting your kids fit in, what is your job? You haven't done nothing. You just letting them do whatever. Again, accountability. So tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts are. But you gotta hold your kid accountable. You gotta go back to making them be obedient. Make them follow the rules. Oh, yeah, you can let them have fun. They can be happy. Now they don't need to fit in, because fitting in can cause them some trouble. On one hand, this is true. Kids are they'll resent you when you don't let them do what they want to, which they do. But me, I don't care. Shit, resent and get out. It's remarkable what a child can endure and still come out the other end of full life potential. On the other hand, how many of us walk around the deep wounds from our childhood? These wounds do not need to define us. They aren't excuses. At the same time, I am sure many of us would have been well served by a dad or mom who stepped up when we needed them to. When your child is going through a difficult experience, whether it's difficult, teacher, coach, mean kids at school, academic struggles, as an excuse not to engage, lean, listen, teach, team, how responds well and necessary. Kids gonna be resilient. They gonna resent. They gonna back up. They gonna do things away from what you're trying to tell them. But at the same token, we still gotta keep them accountable. Kids need to keep busy. They do. They need to do things to occupy their time, occupy their mind. If not, they start stranding, doing other stuff. You may immediately think of saying, idle hands are the devil's worship. At least I do. And as with all of the assumptions, there is some truth to it. It's not just that the bored kids get into trouble, but also that having meaningful things to do is really good for kids' well-being. That said, it's also really important that kids have downtime with school homework and extracurricular activities. Kids can literally be running from one thing to the other next from the moment they wake up until they go to sleep at night. Sure, it may keep them out of trouble, but it also can lead to decreased creativity and problems. So, problem solving skills, increased anxiety, depression. We are not machines. Prioritize and unstructured. So here again. Kids keep going, especially when we have our kids in all these extracurricular activities. They need some downtime. They need some time to get themselves together. You can't keep on letting them go. Let them rest. Let their body rest. Let their mind rest. Let them recuperate. But some parents just keep on going. Just like for Little League, I see kids playing Little League football year-round. Football not no year-round sport. Your body got to rest. Baseball, you got to rest. Basketball, year-round. Your body got to rest. Track, kind of year-round, but a little break. But basketball, baseball, football, especially football. Football is definitely not a year-round sport, especially not when you're playing tackle. But let me know if these are some things that you think that we assume are these assumptions, do they hurt our kids? I think they do. Because when you be real lenient on them, those are the things that we get done. This is what happened. So I think these do hurt. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Forward Talk.